called for the replay of the Laois Junior A hurling final. The second replay, and first in the attacker Portlaoise by Martin Cuddy, and Martin shot just gone to the left and just gone wide. Of course, we had a thrilling game, the first game it was played, and then we had the replay, and then it went extra time, which was a thriller, and a big crowd gathered in here to a very, very cold day here at Colt. But conditions are in splendid. The ground very dry and hard, a little breeze blowing from left to right. Portlaoise, their first two attacks and the first two wides from Portlaoise. That gone away on the far side of the field, and Brian Bohan putting it wide. So Portlaoise playing with whatever breeze, a stiff breeze blowing from left to right. The puck out towards the middle of the field. It'll be a free for Ballypickas, and Christy Wallace will be their free taker, their number 9. Christy wearing 9. He wore 9 the first day, he wore 8 the last day, and he's back with his traditional number 9. Christy Wallace, this will be away back in their own half the field. Into the wind, Christy bending, lifting and striking. That's a good puck from Christy Wallace, dropping right into the full forward line towards Pat O'Neill. Pat was the race scorer the last day he came on as a sub. That was a chance, but James Brown, James for Portlaoise coming there with the clearance, and James putting it out over the line. I said Pat O'Neill. Pat scored 2 goals and 2 points here in the drawn game 3 weeks ago, so Pat will be hoping to repeat the same medicine today for Ballypickas. He's standing in around the edge of the small square, and the line ball will be taken just down under us by Christy Wallace. A beautiful stroke from Christy, dropping it right in towards the centre forward, and that will be John O'Dea. John trying to get it in, but James Brown for Portlaoise. James towards middle of the field. Not a score. The game's only 2 minutes old here at Colt, and the ball on the far side of the field. Going very, very near the line. The linesman Joe Bailey says it's gone out over the line. The man to take it for Portlaoise will be Eamon Finnelly, the number 11. Eamon placing it on the far side of the field. Portlaoise had 2 chances there, but 2 wides, and Eamon cutting this one, not a good one. Dropping in towards the half forward line. Stalemate in there. The ball half cleared out by Ballypickas is to come away with it. On this side of the field, referee says play on, no foul committed. Christy Wallace is in, and Christy trying to pick it up, loses the ball, and Martin Cashin, but the ball goes in. That's a great save by Paddy Wallace. That's a great save by Paddy Wallace, the goalkeeper. The ball came in from the Portlaoise half forward, but it was a tremendous save, and that's a fair shoulder. The referee says a fair shoulder. The ball on the far side of the field, some hard pulling, but we had a great sporting game in the last 2 games. The ball coming towards middle of the field. Portlaoise man running for Brian Bohan. Brian dropping it up towards Eamon Fennelly. Eamon trying to get it on in further, half cleared out. 2 Ballypickas in the round. The one coming with the ball will be Francis Cahill, and Francis clearing it away down on the far side of the field towards the corner forward. Half beating, losing the ball. It comes away out towards middle of the field. Ball got in about 35 metres out, coming, but Portlaoise man coming away. It's the centre back for Portlaoise, and that's Brian Murphy. A great clearance from Brian Murphy away on the far side of the field towards Brian Bohan. Brian trying to get it for Portlaoise. His clearance being half blocked down, and back come Ballypickas. We're having to score a great first 3 minutes here in Colt towards Martin Cashin. Portlaoise will be looking to the race marksman Martin Cashin. Martin away out on the far side. He scored some tremendous scores in the last 2 games. He doesn't get that one. It'll fall back to Bohan. Brian, has he put it over? Brian Bohan has put it over. That's a splendid point for Portlaoise. That's a splendid point after 4 minutes of play. Brian Bohan from the far side putting Portlaoise 1 point ahead here after 4 minutes of play. The referee now running in is the goalkeeper. Just the goalkeeper looks to be in a little bit of trouble there. The referee Martin Lawler going in to have a check on him. He made a great save. That was Paddy Wallace there off Ballypickas. He made a tremendous save a couple of minutes ago. He seems to be in a little bit of bother up to our right now, the referee Martin Lawler, and the mentors of Ballypickas in having a look at Paddy. Paddy that has played so well in this junior championship for Ballypickas. It would be a big loss to Ballypickas if Paddy had to go off in the early stages of this replay. I said it's cold, windy here at Colt, but conditions ideal for hurling. We had 2 great games. The first game, the drawn game, and then the extra time was a splendid 30 minutes of good hurling from 2 great junior clubs here. Ballypickas, of course, determined to win this junior title, and Portlaoise will be hoping to make amends for the loss of the senior title to win this junior title. So the puck out now. Paddy seems to be limping into the goals. The referee coming back out, so about a minute there now of a stoppage, and Paddy Wallace will take the puck out when play resumes. He's not, he's leaving it to the corner back. The corner back pucking it out, not a good one, and Martin Cashin gets it, and Martin being hooshed to the ground. The referee says play on. The ball on the far side of the field. Towards Martin Cuddy. Martin trying to pick it up towards Martin Cashin. Stalemate on the far side of the field. Ballypickas come away with the ball. Mick trying to clear it out towards the far side of the field, not making a lot of ground. They're playing against the slight breeze, but Ballypickas come away with this one. The half back clearing it away out towards middle of the field. Portlaoise man getting it again. Brian Murphy. That's a mighty stroke from Brian Murphy, but it's gone to the left. Brian having a good early first few minutes here for Portlaoise, getting that one, picking it well with the breeze behind him. He put it to the left and wide. There could be costly misses. The breeze favouring the Portlaoise men in the green and white here in the first half. So 1 point for Portlaoise, no score yet for Ballypickas playing against the breeze. Paddy Wallace poking it out towards the far side of the field, half blocked down towards Fennelly for Portlaoise. He's picking it up, he's turning, he's looking towards the goals. That looks a splendid puck, but this will go to the right. Half blocked down, it's gone into the net. Well, Martin Cashin was in. It looked a harmless ball. The goalkeeper was watching it to drop wide, but Martin Cashin was running in. Martin got his stick to it and has put it in the back of the net. So that's a splendid goal that came out of really nowhere for Portlaoise after about 8 minutes of play. Martin Cashin, I said he was the star in the last 2 games. Martin has dotted up a goal already in the 8th minute. Some hard pulling by Portlaoise. The referee, Martin Lawler, says a free to the Ballypickas men and Christy Wallace. Christy, of course, the marksman for Ballypickas that has scored so much in the last 2 games. And in the extra time, can he put this one over for the opening score for Ballypickas? The score, a goal and 1. It's 4 points to no score for Ballypickas. That's a mighty puck from Christy Wallace, but it's dropping in, curling with the wind, curling to the right and curling wide. So that goal, the ball that seemed to be going wide, goalkeeper Paddy Wallace was out watching it go wide, but Martin Cashin just came out of nowhere and flicked the ball to the net. So it's 1 goal and 1 point for Portlaoise. No score yet for the Coltmen, but remember, both sides led before and 5 points before, and then the comeback started with either sides that were losing at that stage. Towards Brian Murphy, Pat O'Neill, his first touch of the afternoon. Pat getting it across, but the ball going to be taken up by Portlaoise, by Dermot Bohan, not getting it very far. He shot half blocked down. This will go right across the goal mouth. No one in but the Portlaoise half back. Portlaoise, that's Tony Berrigan. Tony pucking it away out towards the far side of the field. 2 players racing for stalemate on the far side of the field. The Ballypickas man with the ball. He shakes off 2 tackles, a good shoulder. He sends it right across towards Christy Wallace. Christy looking down. Ballypickas will be looking to Christy to inspire them to this junior final. The ball towards Pat O'Neill, hard pulling on the far side of the field. Pat gets it in. It's been followed up by the centre forward, and here's a chance of a score for the John O'Dea for Ballypickas, but it's well cleared out by Portlaoise. That's a good clearance. Portlaoise backs really playing tight today. They gave a lot of loose space the last day to Ballypickas, but they're playing very. Christy Wallace. Christy under 2 tackled by 2 Portlaoise players. Christy wins the free. The referee brings it in 10 metres for descent. The referee bringing it in 10 metres, so this can be the opening score. This can be the opening score for Christy Wallace and Ballypickas. A goal and 1. A goal and 1. A goal and a point to no score. Christy Wallace with his free, 30 metres out from the Portlaoise goals, playing into the breeze. 10 minutes gone and Christy putting it over. That's 1 goal and 1 point to a point, so only 1 goal between them. That Martin Cashin goal. That Martin Cashin goal. So Martin Lawler says to the mentors to keep off the field. Christy Wallace getting a knock on the elbow that time, and Christy seems to be in a little bit of bother. And the puck out, a mighty puck out away towards the far side of the field. The wind favouring the Portlaoise men. This ball going towards Fennelly Eamon. Eamon trying to get it in, and Martin Cashin the goal scorer. Back to Bohan. Bohan sending it right across the mouth towards Cuddy. Martin pulling, not getting his shot in. It's well cleared out, but the Portlaoise man gone to the ground. The referee, will he call one of the Ballypickas players aside? The Portlaoise man, Martin Cashin, been pulled and going to the ground. The referee says it's a free in for... Yes, it's a free in for Portlaoise. A free for Portlaoise, almost dead straight in front of the goals, a little to the left, and a chance for Portlaoise to go further ahead. And it's gone over the bar, a splendid point for Portlaoise to make them 1 goal and 2 points. So back with the play here, the ball around middle of the field. Christy Wallace moving it away down the field. A Portlaoise man going for the ball. That will be Decky Fitzpatrick. Decky picking it up on the far side of the field, sending it into the centre, half block down. Going to be going on the far side of the field towards Martin Cashin. Martin will try and pick this one. He's been hooshed, but a lovely bit of work by Martin Cashin. He's en route to the goals. A lovely pass cross to number 15. He's in front of the goals, but it was a chance for Portlaoise. A lovely pass from Martin Cashin across to the number 15. He didn't get it in, but Portlaoise are piling on the pressure. Portlaoise piling on the pressure, the ball going towards this side of the field. Portlaoise man racing for the ball. It's Martin Cuddy. Martin with the stroke, a shot from Martin. Is it gone? It's gone to the left and gone wide. That's another chance for Portlaoise. That maybe should have been a point. So the score, 1 goal and 2 points to 1 point. Free. So back with play, the ball around middle of the field. Portlaoise dominating this early stage of this game, and Eamon Fennelly with the ball for Portlaoise. Can he get his point? That shot will go away to the right, but it mightn't be gone wide yet. Martin Cashin is splendid. That's a great score from Martin Cashin. Martin out in the corner, grabbing the ball that seemed to be going wide, turning swiftly and putting it over. That's a great score for Martin Cashin. A goal and a point for Martin. So the point coming there on the 14th minute of the first half. The score, 1 goal and 3 points. 1 goal and 3 to 1 point for Ballypickas, scored by Christy Wallace. But remember, Portlaoise are playing with a fairly stiff breeze. Portlaoise come again. Eamon Fennelly, has he put it over? He has put it over, a splendid point. Portlaoise are picking off their scores, playing much better in this game than they did in the previous 2 games. Portlaoise, that's a great score from centre forward Eamon Fennelly, and that comes in the 15th minute of the first half. A great score for Portlaoise. The ball towards middle of the field, and Christy Wallace. Christy getting it down, but it'll come to the Portlaoise man, and he'll get it down towards Martin Cashin. Martin Cuddy. Cuddy getting it in. Cuddy pulling a little high. The referee says it's an illegal foul, and Martin accepts it, and the ball is dropped down. It'll be a free out for Francis Cahill and Ballypickas. Ballypickas not getting into the game like they did the referee. It's a push in the Portlaoise player on Ollie Barkley there at Portlaoise, so it'll be a free for the centre back for Portlaoise and Brian Murphy. Brian might put this one. This is a long way out. He's back in his own half the field, but Brian is a great stroke. That's a mighty puck from Brian Murphy, dropping down in the parallelogram, half block down, and it's gone into the back of the net. The man picking it up is Martin Cuddy. Yes, it was Martin, the man with the blue helmet, that flicked it into the back of the net. That's a splendid goal by Martin Cuddy. So they scored 2 goals and 3 points to 1 point in for the Ballypickas men. Eamon Fennelly. Fennelly shot being blocked down, so Ballypickas really have an uphill battle. What I said, they're playing against the breeze, but the breeze mightn't make that much difference. It's not a real strong gale by any means, but it's favouring, but it's all Portlaoise. Portlaoise man getting that. It's gone out over the line, but it's deflected by a Ballypickas player, so it's gone out for a line ball on the far side of the field, and it's a line ball to Portlaoise. So Portlaoise leading 2 goals and 4 points to 1 point for Ballypickas, and that point coming Tony Berrigan. Tony getting it in towards Martin Cashin. Has Martin got the point? And Martin Cashin has put it over. A splendid point by Martin Cashin. Martin has got a goal and 2. So that's coming in the 16th minute of the first half. So 2 goals and 5 points. It's 2 goals and 5 to 1 point. So the ball going on the far side of the field. Ballypickas getting it hard to win it around middle of the field. Ball half blocked down, going out over the line, and linesman on the far side says it'll be a line ball for Portlaoise. It'll be a line ball on the far side of the field, and Tony Berrigan. Tony will cut this one for the Portlaoisman. He cut one a few moments ago. He cut this one on the far side of the field. Portlaoise really the dominant team in this second replay. The ball falling down towards Francis Cahill, trying to get it out, but Eamon Fennelly for Portlaoise. He's a big centre forward. He pucks that one in, but he was under a lot of pressure. This will drop away at half block down. The goalkeeper watches it go out. He lets this one go out and wide. He'll be wondering about the first goal that came. He was watching it go out over the line. Martin Cashin came out of nowhere to flick it to the corner of the net. So the puck out will be once again for Ballypickas and Paddy Wallace. Paddy hopping the ball on the hurley, waiting for the referee. There's one of the Ballypickas players, Pat Dooley. Pat being attended to, he got a knock there, but Pat seems to be okay, and the puck out by Paddy Wallace. Paddy now waiting for the referee to give the signal for the puck out. We have about 18 minutes gone here in the first half, and Portlaoise leading by 2 goals and 5 points to 1 point. It's all Portlaoise. Gone away very near the sideline, kept in play by the Portlaoise man. Stalemate as the ball just dithers along the line. Ballypickas trying to get it out. A lot of scrappy hurling here as Martin Cuddy's in for the Portlaoise men. Ballypickas man gets it, kept very near the line. It'll come back out here. Tolly Bartley, but Ollie losing the ball, and Christy Wallace. Christy back. Christy runs into a tackle. The referee says a free where the ball lands, but the ball didn't make a lot of ground, but the referee will bring it up a good 10 metres. He'll drop it there, and the Ballypickas man brings it on another 7 or 8 yards. So Martin Lawler and Martin will trot back and peg it back another 2 or 3 yards. Silly really by the referee because there's only a couple of yards in it. But Christy Wallace with the free. It'll be on almost a little inside the 65-metre line, and Christy Wallace the only scorer so far for Ballypickas. That's a good poke from Christy, dropping down, and Pat O'Neill trying to get up to it, but Pat doesn't get it. The ball falling down. Ollie Bartley does, gets it out towards the midfielder, and the midfielder driving it away up towards the centre, towards Martin Cashin. Martin putting up his hand, but here's a goal for Portlaoise. A goal by Rogers. It's a goal by John Rogers for Portlaoise. The ball, Martin Cashin put up his hand, it went inside, and Rogers cracked the ball to the back of the net. So Portlaoise leading by 3 goals and 5 points to 1 solitary point here for Ballypickas. Martin Cashin. Martin slips, he threw the ball, the referee said. So Ballypickas really being outclassed here in the replay. Pat O'Neill trying to get it in. He scored 2 goals and 2 points in the drawn game. Pat hasn't got a score. He has got the first free here. Is he going to take it himself? Is Pat going to try blasting operations? He's not. He's leaving it to Christy Wallace. So Christy Wallace, and Christy will be happy to put it over the bar, and that's what he does. His 2nd point for Ballypickas. So 3 goals and 5 to 2 points here, and we have about 20 minutes gone here in the first half, so 10 minutes to go to half time. Ballypickas will be hoping that the aid of the breeze in the second half might be some help, but they're Portlaoise are really the dominant team, and Eamon Fennelly picking up the loose ball, and Eamon putting it over with all the ease in the world. Eamon Fennelly putting that one over. Another splendid point for Portlaoise to make it 3 goals and 6 points, and that point coming on the 20th minute of that first half. So 3 goals and 6, a real commanding lead for Portlaoise. Is there a reply from Ballypickas? Christy Wallace, the man that played so well in the last 2 games today, he's playing his heart out for Ballypickas, but not getting great response from the rest of his teammates at the moment. The ball going down on the far side of the field towards Martin Cashin. The experienced Martin, he plays that one well. Cashin sends in the lovely pass, but it'll go. The pass will go to the right, and it'll go wide. Decky Fitzpatrick getting a great opportunity, took up a great chance from Martin Cashin. Martin spotting Decky running in, the ball running to the right and going wide. So it's still 3 goals and 5 to 2 points. Portlaoise winning a lot of the battle around middle of the field. So Fennelly once again, that's a way out on the left, but this will go away to the right and go wide, and the ball gone wide again. So Portlaoise have squandered a lot of chances. They would be really in a real commanding lead if they had to take the scores that came their way. They have missed a good few scoring opportunities. So the puck out. Ballypickas hoping to get a goal before half time would maybe inspire them in the second half, but Ballypickas don't look like getting that score. Portlaoise are really playing real close mark and hurling. Pat O'Neill, and Pat has got this one. The big full forward making his way. Has he got a score? Pat O'Neill, he has put it to the left and put it wide, but he was well marked there by the Portlaoise man. Sean Berrigan, the full back, staying on the toes of Pat O'Neill. He gave him a lot of room in the drawn game. He's really standing on top of Pat, giving him no leeway whatsoever, as Pat, a great goal getter. He got two of them in the drawn game, but Portlaoise winning the breaks. That's a great score. He's going to go to the left. It was a great puck from the midfielder. That was a great puck there from Barry Cairns, the midfielder. And that went to the left and went wide. So Paddy Wallace very busy in the Ballypickas goals, poking it out towards the midfielder, towards Christie. Christie won't get that one. The ball is going to be picked up by the John O'Dea. John moving it down on the far side of the field, moving it in towards the full forward, but Portlaoise man coming again with the ball. And this is John Byrne, and John poking it away out towards the far side of the field. Stalemate. Martin Cashin putting up his stick. Martin waiting for the ball to drop down. Stalemate. 3 or 4 Ballypickas players. They're trying to get it out, not getting it out very far. Towards Eamon Finnelly. Eamon trying to move it in, but the man taking it out will be Anthony Carter for Ballypickas. Anthony moving it out towards way beyond middle of the field. Half blocked down. Players reaching for it. It might be a Ballypickas free player on the ground, but the referee says play on as the Portlaoise man comes away. Ollie Barkley. Ollie with the ball, not getting it very far. Christie Wallace. Christie playing his heart out, as said, for the Ballypickas men, but Eamon Finnelly trying to get it in for Portlaoise. Blocked towards middle of the field, towards Keenan. Joe sending it in towards the full forward, towards Martin Cuddy. Martin just taking a look at the goals, and Martin putting it over. A splendid point. That's a splendid point for Martin Cuddy. He just took one look at the goals, and from 35 metres out, Martin stuck it over the bar to make it 3 goals and 6 points. Or 3 goals and 7 rather. 3-7 to 2 points. 3-7 to 2 points here at Colt in this junior hurling second replay. Ballypickas getting it very. Christie Wallace doing a lot of hard work around middle of the field, getting the free, but as I said, Christie not getting a lot of help from the rest of the players. Ballypickas doesn't seem to be getting into this game at all. So Christie poking it away on the far side of the field towards the number 12, and that's Paul Brennan. Has Paul put it over? He has. Paul Brennan. That was a nice free from Christie Wallace over to Paul Brennan, and Paul sticking it over from 30 metres out in the 25th minute of the first half. So the score 3 goals and 7 to 3 points here in favour of Portlaoise in the junior hurling second replay here at Colt. The ball falling on the far side of the field. Going to taken up by Anthony Carter. Anthony sending it away down on the far side of the field. That's a good clearance. Dropping down. But Ollie Bartley, Ollie for Portlaoise. His shot being well blocked down, but he gets a second chance and he cuts it away down on the far side of the field. But Ballypickas get the clearance on the far side of the field, not making a lot of ground. 2 Portlaoise players down, but Brendan Keogh. Brendan making his way in towards the goals. Half blocked down. It's going to be taken up there by Brendan again. It's going to go back to the centre forward. And that shot going to go to the left and going to go wide. Centre forward is John O'Dea. John getting that one. It went to the left and went wide. So the score still remains 3-7 to 3 points here in the junior hurling final replay here at Colt. James Bohan. James will puck it out. A good puck from James with the breeze behind him. Ball blocked down. No Ballypickas man getting it. A Portlaoise man, Decky Fitzpatrick. Decky running to the ball, looking towards the goals deck. He's been hooked. But Martin Cuddy. Martin getting it up on the far side towards Decky Fitz. Decky, but a push on the Ballypickas player, and it'll be a free. I thought it might be Christie Wallace. It's not. Christie won't take this one. Christie will move down the field. So it'll be a free for Francis Cahill, the fullback, and Francis for Ballypickas. Francis sends it long, sends it high, dropping it down 40 metres out, hard pulling. Brian Bohan trying to get it, but Ballypickas are coming back with it. And Ballypickas now looking for the score. A goal before half time would do wonders for Ballypickas. but the ball going to go out to the left and going to go wide. Christy Wallace is running down. Christy will try and engineer around for Pat O'Neill, the big man around the square. Pat's going, keeping out a bit to the far side of the field. Christy Wallace teeing up the ball nicely. Can Christy put this one in for... Can Ballypickas get a goal? They really need a goal before half time, but that's a very poor puck from Christy Wallace. He cut it to the left and cut it wide. So that's gone to the left and wide. It's 3-7 to 3 points, and we're not too far away from, well, 3 minutes, I'd say, of the half-time whistle here at Colt. A disappointing replay here between Colt and Portlaoise. The two drawn games were thrillers. The first game, then the replay, and then the extra time was a thrilling game. Today's game not living up to the excitement as many people thought it would. Portlaoise taking their scores, taking their chances when they come. They look much sharper and much fitter, and they're really marking much closer, giving Ballypickas very little scope. Pat O'Neill out around the 30-metre line. Pat has to come a long way out for the ball today. Can Pat get a score? But he sends it in towards a chance of a score. That's a splendid goal. That's a splendid goal. That's what they need. That's what Paddy McWee, Paddy of course the Ballyroan footballer, Paddy McWee cracking that one to the back of the net, and that's a great score for Ballypickas, and that's what they really need. They really need that injection before the half-time break. So the score 3-7 to 1-3. Paddy McWee sticking the ball in the back of the net, so Ballypickas coming more into the game. This will be a free. A free for Ballypickas now. And Francis Cahill. Francis will puck this one. The full-back will puck this one. Francis Cahill, and Francis delaying no time. That's a mighty puck from Francis. Can Ballypickas engineer another goal? There'll be very little in it before the half-time break. And Ballypickas are en route to the goals again. The half-forward pucking it in, but that'll go to the right. That'll go to the right, and it'll go wide. So that's Paul Brennan. Paul that's operating around middle of the field. Paul getting that one, but it goes to the right and goes wide. So the puck out again for Portlaoise, dropping away, way beyond middle of the field. Players reaching, no one getting the Portlaoise man, pucking it in on the ground towards Martin Cashin and Martin Cuddy. Cuddy picking it up, beautiful Martin Cuddy. Can he get it? He doesn't get his stroke in. As Paddy Wallace, Paddy is in, and Paddy's put out over the line with the ball. It'll be a 65-metre puck. Martin Cuddy, very dangerous when he's near the goals. Martin got that one. He wasn't able to get a full stroke at it, but he got it in. Paddy Wallace bringing it out for a 65-metre puck. This could well and surely be the last puck of this first half now, and Martin Cashin coming out to take it. So 3 goals and 7 points to 1 goal and 3 here at Colt in the junior hurling replay, and Martin Cashin coming out to take the 65-metre puck almost dead straight in front of the goals. Martin taking the look at the goals, waiting for the signalling of the referee, and Martin bending, he's lifting and striking. That's a mighty stroke from Martin Cashin, but it never was en route. It goes away to the right and wide. So that one's gone to the right and gone wide, and Martin Lawler looking at his watch, and on our watch the 30 minutes, but there was a little bit of stoppage time when Paddy Wallace got injured in the Ballypickas goals. The ball coming towards middle of the field. There might be about a minute of stoppage time. This will fall down towards Martin Cuddy. Martin not getting it. Ballypickas come away with it, not getting it out very far. Martin Cuddy trying to get in, and Martin Cashin. Martin on the far side of the field towards Decky Fitzpatrick. Decky, the number 10, pushing, and Decky not too happy with that decision. It'll be a free for Francis Cahill and Ballypickas when play resumes. Martin Lawler says a push there, and it'll be a free. 3-7 to 1-3. The referee, the Portlaoise players, said something to the Ballypickas player there, so the referee, Martin Lawler, bringing the ball up a good 10 metres. So Francis Cahill, Francis dropping it down on the far side of the field towards Paddy McWee. Paddy mightn't get that one. It'll drop down towards Paul Brennan. That could be a good shot from Brennan. It's a great point from Brennan. That's a great score from Brennan, the half forward, operating around mid of the field. Paul Brennan putting that one over. So that's a great point by Paul Brennan for Ballypickas. They're coming more into the game, 3-7 to 1-4. And Portlaoise playing with the win. We're not too far away. We're in added on time here in the first half. Portlaoise with the ball on the far side of the field. Ball half blocked down, going to be gone in by John Rogers. John getting it in towards Decky Fitzpatrick. Decky mightn't get that one. It'll go out over the line and go wide. The referee says it's got out and gone wide. Portlaoise thought there might be a free. So Portlaoise are making a substitute, but we're on added on time here in the first half. Added on time here in the first half, and it's 3-7 to 1-3. So the puck out by Paddy Wallace, and Paddy Wallace on the far side of the field, but the ball is going to be taken by Brian Murphy. Brian for Portlaoise, away on the far side of the field, looking for Rogers. John, can John make it before it gets to the line? He got a few great scores in the first half, and John gets in well. He really gets away from his marker. A chance for Rogers. Has he put it over? That's a great point from John Rogers. John Rogers putting that one over to make it 3 goals and 8 points for Portlaoise to 1 goal and 4 for Ballypickas here in the first half, and we're gone 2 minutes into added on time here in the first half. The referee Martin Lawler blowing for the half-time whistle. So the half-time, 3 goals and 8 points to 1 goal and 4 here at the half-time break here in Colt in the junior hurling replay. So back here at Cole for the start of the second half, and Portlaoise are right, or Ballypickas are right into the attack. They're playing with the breeze, whatever breeze that's in it, but remember they're trailing by 3 goals and 8 points to 1 goal and 4, but Ballypickas are making an early attack, a chance of a score, but is well cleared out. Pat O'Neill trying to get it in, is not out of danger yet. Pat with the ball stalemate, the full back trying to get it out for Portlaoise. Sean Berrigan clearing it out, not very far. Ballypickas are trying to get it in, they need a nearly score here, but the ball's going to be cleared out now by the midfielder towards Eamon Fennelly, but Christy Wallace, can Christy open the score? Can Christie put this one over? He doesn't. He sends it right across on this side of the field. Ball gone in low on the ground, but the Portlaoise man waiting for that's the number 2, Joe Byrne. Joe clearing it away out towards the far side of the field, towards Rogers for Portlaoise. His shot being half blocked down. He get a second chance. He'll get this one. Portlaoise will try for the early score, but he carries it too far. The referee Martin Lawler says it'll be a free out. A free for Christy Wallace with the breeze behind him. 3 goals and 8 points to 1 goal and 4. And the game just about a minute old here in the second half. So Ballypickas with a 10-point lead to pull down, but to pull down 5 and 6 in the previous games, this is a 10-point lead. They need a nearly score. The ball falling towards middle of the field, and Eamon Fennelly, that operating around middle of the field in the drawn game, played well. This one going on the far side of the field towards Joe Paisley. Joe not getting, he came on a sub just before half time. Back to Eamon Fennelly. Fennelly with the ball, dropping it in towards the goal mouth, towards Brian Bohan. Brian not getting in. It'll be half cleared out, going to be cleared out by Ballypickas, and Ballypickas come away with this one. No score yet in the second half. A ball dropping down. Pat O'Neill waiting for the loose ball. It won't come his way. Half blocked down towards the Portlaoise man. Ollie clearing it out towards this side of the field, hopping very, very near the line. Brian Bohan. Brian might get this one. A fair shoulder and a good shoulder by Brian Bohan. He gets it in well. Blocked down, clear on this side of the field. That's lovely hurling by Brian Bohan. Some lovely shouldering, some great striking by Brian Bohan. Paddy McWee, Paddy that got the goal, turning well. Paddy that lost the football title with Ballyroan last week towards Christy Wallace. Christy back to Paddy. Paddy making the run, the big man. He'll send it across on the far side of the field towards the number 13 for Ballypickas, and that will be Joe Fitzpatrick. Joe getting that one. Will he get the free? The referee blowing the whistle. It'll be a free into Ballypickas, and a chance for Christy Wallace to open the score of the second half. The game is only 2 minutes old. 3 goals and 8 at half time. 3 goals and 8 points at half time to 1 goal and 4 for Ballypickas, and Christy Wallace with a chance of the opening score. Portlaoise scored first with the breeze in the first half, and Ballypickas likewise in the second. Christy Wallace. Christy putting it over the opening score of the second half to make it 3-8 to 1-5. So 9 points between the sides. Ballypickas with it all to do, with a great team, with a fighting spirit here at Colt. We saw them in the last 2 games. They never gave up till the final whistle. Portlaoise really hurling well, but Ballypickas now, that ball dropping in towards Pat O'Neill, very near. This could be a chance of a score. Pat running out, getting the ball. That's the goals that Pat got, the 2 goals for Ballypickas in the game, but Sean being surrounded by Ballypickas players. Ballypickas piling on the pressure. The ball stalemate on the far side of the field. Just up to our right. Pat O'Neill's out. Pat's a big, strong player. He gets that one. That's a great bit of work by Pat O'Neill. Pat sends it back towards the half forward. Third Paul Brennan. Has Paul got a point, and Paul has put it wide. So hard luck for Ballypickas, but Pat O'Neill, a big man, doing a lot of hard work there, getting the ball, setting up Paul Brennan. And is there a substitute? I see. Is Ballypickas making a substitute? I'll see who's going on in a minute. It looks like Murty McWee. It looks like Murty McWee that's in the game for the Ballypickas men. So the referee says a free. Christy Wallace, and Christy will be happy to engineer a score here. Christy is well capable of putting this one the whole way. Christy Wallace looking towards the goals, and Christy deciding to drop this one, dropping down in the goal mouth. It's got well cleared out, and Ollie Bartley and Ollie for Portlaoise having a good game. Ollie, the hurl cut out of his hand, but he gets his clearance towards the far side of the field, towards Martin Cuddy. Martin mightn't get it, it'll fall back towards the middle of the field, and Christy Wallace. Christy's out for Ballypickas and driving it in, but driving it away to the left and gone wide. So a chance for Ballypickas. A chance for Ballypickas, and that was gone to the left and gone wide. So the score 3-8 to 1-5. One score in the second half. Martin Lawler, the referee, out in the centre of the field. James Brown for Portlaoise. James poking it a long one away on the far side of the field towards Martin Cuddy. Martin pushed to the ground. The referee doesn't blow. Ballypickas man takes away, comes with the ball. The referee blowing. The referee, is he going to speak to the Portlaoise player? He's having a word with one of the Portlaoise players, Martin Lawler. I didn't see what, I was following the play, but Martin blew the whistle, and he's having a word with the Portlaoise player. It's like Martin Cuddy. Martin might have said something to him, but it'll be a free for Christy Wallace, and the free will be further in. It'll be a free on the 50-metre line for Ballypickas and Christy Wallace. Can Christy put this one over? Christy driving, and he's deciding to drop it in when maybe the point would be there for the taking. Every point would count, but Christy dropping in those frees. Portlaoise backs playing well. Joe Byrne trying to get it out, half blocked down, and going to be well cleared out there by Tony Berrigan. Tony for Portlaoise. The ball coming away on this side of the field. Martin Cashin down helping his defence. Eamon Fennelly, but it'll fall back to the Ballypickas man, and here's a chance for centre forward. He mightn't get it. It's well cleared out there by the Portlaoise man, Dermot Bohan, and a great clearance from Dermot Bohan, dropping away down towards Cuddy and Joe Paisley. But John Rogers with the ball. A lovely pass in towards Paisley. He mightn't get it. He lets the ball. Paisley didn't think the ball was coming in. It's a foul. The Ballypickas player gone to the ground, the referee, but I didn't think there was any hard pulling. From here, the referee calling for Mentors. Got a knock on the side. Is it on the side of the face? He's gone to the ground. The referee, Martin Lawler, and the goalkeeper's out having a look at him. The referee, Martin Lawler, calling for attention from the sideline. The Mentors are on their way in now. One of the Ballypickas players got a knock, but it looked, from here, it looked like an accidental knock. The referee not looking to the umpires or anyone. He's just having still had all the player being surrounded there now. The Ballypickas player being Martin Lawler still in having a look here at. So the score is 3 goals and 8 points to 1 goal and 5 here at half time, and we're just 4 minutes into the second half. So back with play, and Martin Murphy being brought off here off the Ballypickas team with a bad blow here to the face. So an accidental blow there to Martin Murphy, and what a pity in such a clean sporting game. And Martin being brought off just down under us here, and the play resumes on the far side of the field. So the ball on the far side of the field, it's a free for Ballypickas. So a bad blow there to Martin Murphy. He got it right under the eye. Martin being attended to just down unders, but back with play. Portlaoise are in the attack towards Martin Cuddy. That's a good puck from Martin Cuddy. Has Martin put it over? He hasn't. He's put it to the left and put it wide. So the Ballypickas cornerback there, Martin Murphy, a bad knock just under the eye, but he's been taken off by Minters, and Ballypickas are on the way in towards the goals. Half forward with the ball, Paul Brennan. Paul losing the ball. The referee says a push, and it's a free out for Portlaoise. So a free out for Portlaoise. The Portlaoise man being pushed to the ground, so it'll be a free out. Portlaoise will be happy enough with the free. Portlaoise will be happy enough to get the free out. It's centre back Brian Murphy. Brian having a good game for Portlaoise. Brian will take the free. He won't. He'll leave it to the cornerback. He'll leave it to Dermot Bohan. Dermot Bohan, the number 4. Dermot striking it down towards this side of the field. Hands reaching for Ballypickas, trying to come right into the game. Back to come again. The ball towards this side of the field, very, very near the line. It won't go over the line. The Ballypickas man will cut it in, but that's a bad stroke. But it might come lucky for him yet. Towards Paul Brennan. And the ball towards very near this side of the field. It's gone out over the line. It's very, very near the line, and that was Paddy McWee. Paddy getting that one. Paddy leaving the line ball to Christy Wallace. And Christy will... referee telling the mentors and subs to get back in to the dugout before play resumes. The referee won't start the game until everybody is back into the dugout. He's calling order.
Everybody back to the line of the dugout. Come on. That's it, lads. Back to the line of the dugout. Come on, the whole way back.
So the line ball when play resumes. Martin Lawler telling the subs and so Martin Murphy there being taken away to hospital. Martin with a bad eye injury. Looks from here a bad eye injury. Martin Murphy, an accidental blow to Martin's right eye there, but he's been taken away by the Ballypickas officials and mentors there to Portlaoise. So a pity really, a very clean sporting game. All the games that have played here, the last 2 games in extra time, and today a very sporting game. An accidental blow to Martin Murphy, the cornerback. So everybody hopes that Martin will be okay. It looks a bad eye injury from here. Martin's on his way now to Portlaoise, so play will resume in just a moment with Christy Wallace. And Christy, that's a mighty cut from Christy Wallace, so this probably will inspire Ballypickas. Martin Murphy got off. Ballypickas will try and pull this game out of the fire for Martin's sake. Ballypickas need another goal to come right back into the game, but the Portlaoise defence are playing really well. The ball will fall out towards middle of the field. Barry Cairns around towards the middle of the field. He gets it on down towards Ollie Bentley, towards Martin Cuddy. But Portlaoise now Eamon Fennelly. Eamon looking towards the goals. He's against the breeze. That's it. Ball hopping in, half cleared out. Rogers trying to get it in, but here's could be a chance for the midfielder. He has put it to the left and wide. He has put it to the left and wide, so that surely was a chance for Portlaoise to get that score. So the ball towards middle of the field. Martin out helping them around middle of the field, and Eamon Fennelly. Ballypickas delaying no time. They're not getting the ball. Portlaoise, Eamon Fennelly are pushing the Ballypickas player, so it'll be a free for Christy Wallace. Christy trying to inspire Ballypickas. We've only seen 2 scores yet in the second half for Ballypickas. Portlaoise haven't scored. So the ball dropping down. Ollie clearing it out towards Martin Cashin, and Martin back helping his defence. Martin being fouled, Martin getting the free. Martin Cashin being fouled back in his own half-back line, getting that free, and the free will be taken by Brian Murphy, their centre back. And Brian, the big centre back for Portlaoise, will drive this one down towards the 21-metre line. Brian looking towards the goals, bending and striking a very, very long one. Out on the far side of the field towards Martin Cuddy, but the wind takes it out over the line. And it'll be a line ball on the far side of the field for the Ballypickas men. And Jim to take it, but the ball falls back to Martin Cuddy. That's a bad stroke towards Joe Paisley. Joe got a great opportunity. The ball fell to him. He didn't get at it, but it's going to be taken up by the cornerback, Pat Dooley. And Dooley for Ballypickas, driving it away up on the far side of the field. Ball very near the sideline, kept in play. Portlaoise trying to get it down the field. Ballypickas trying to get it in, kicking it in along the ground. The referee, Martin Lawler, deems there was a foul in the Ballypickas player, and it'll be a free in. A free for Ballypickas, and is it Christy Wallace? It's Christy will take the free, but Christy had the good few chances. He's dropping them in, trying for the goals, when Ballypickas maybe should be taking the points, but that looks a good one from Christy Wallace. That's a splendid free. That's all of 60 metres out. The free for Christy Wallace and Ballypickas to reduce the gap. So that point coming after about 20 minutes of play here in the second half, and Christy Wallace adding on that point for Ballypickas. They need a goal. Can Ballypickas recover and come right back into the game? They played thrilling draws, not playing as well as they did in the two previous games. That one falling in towards Pat O'Neill. Pat mightn't get this one. It's not falling into him. It'll fall down to Mort McWee. McWee for Ballypickas, losing the ball. Pat O'Neill waiting inside, hoping it'll come his way. It mightn't come his way. The referee blowing. That was Murty McWee trying to get that way in. The referee blowing. Will he decide to hop the ball? There was a lot of players in, pulling everywhere, and I think the fairest thing would be a hop ball, and that's what it's going to be. There's a cluster of players in waiting for the throw in. Portlaoise man getting the ball. Martin Cashin, the full forward back on his own 21-metre line. Martin being fouled yet again and getting the free. So Martin really playing a great role here in this Portlaoise team. Remember, when they seemed to be dead and buried in the both games, Martin was always there. Hello? Right. So the ball will drop around middle of the field, and Eamon Fennelly on the far side of the field towards John Rogers. Rogers grabbing the ball there for Portlaoise. Can Portlaoise get an opening score into Joe Paisley? Joe, a chance again for Joe. He fell over the ball. Joe Paisley, the youngster, brought in there, and it'll fall down towards the half-forward line. It's going to be cleared out, coming across and towards Rogers again and Fennelly. The ball on the far side of the field. Portlaoise coming again. Bohan trying to get it in. So it'll be a free out for Ballypickas. A free out for Ballypickas, and the goalkeeper Paddy Wallace. Paddy will take the puck out for Portlaoise, or for Ballypickas, and that's a mighty puck towards middle of the field, towards Christy Wallace. Christy not getting it. Paddy McWee trying to get it in. So the ball on the far side of the field. Paddy McWee trying to get it in for Ballypickas. Stalemate. The referee will yet again blow for a throw-in ball. So it'll be a throw-in when Martin Lawler throwing it in between Brian Murphy and Christy Wallace, and the big man from Portlaoise picks up the ball. Beautiful. He's been pulled on. He'll get his free. Portlaoise haven't scored in the second half. What's the score now, Julie? Write that down somewhere, I'll see it. 3-8-1-6. 3-8-1-6. So the ball on the far side of the field. Paisley again. Joe going for that. Well, we're about 20 minutes into the second half, Horrigan. It's much a one-sided affair here at Colt in the junior replay. The half-time score was 3 goals and 8 points for Portlaoise to 1 goal and 4 for Ballypickas. Ballypickas have come slightly back into the game. They have got 2 more points. Portlaoise haven't scored yet in the second half. They're playing against the breeze. Portlaoise started off in tremendous style, playing with a strong breeze. Brian Bohan opened their score with a point. John Rogers had a great goal, and then we had a great goal from Martin Cashin. The ball came away in from 60 metres out. Paddy Wallace, the Ballypickas goalkeeper, was letting the ball dribble wide, standing looking at it, and Cashin came out of nowhere to flick the ball, a typical Martin Cashin goal. And then Eamon Fennelly added on another great point, Cashin another point, and Fennelly once again. And John Rogers then is another goal for the Portlaoise men to leave them 3-8. And Christy Wallace was the main scorer for Ballypickas in the first half. Christy getting 2 points. Paul Brennan, of course, got 2 points, and Paddy McWee got a great goal in the 27th minute. So it's about 23 minutes gone here now, Pádraig, in the second half. Not as good a game as the previous 2 games. Ballypickas finding it hard to get through the Portlaoise defence. I said they're trailing by 3-8 to 1-6, and Ballypickas really have an uphill battle now if they're really to get back into this game. But at the moment, it looks like Portlaoise will take this Junior A title, Pádraig. Okay, Pádraig. So the free on the far side of the field for Christy Wallace. Christy and left down. Christy will take this one. He'll drop it right in, dropping it in. Has he put it over Christy Wallace? That's a splendid point for Christy Wallace. He has put it over to make it 1-7, 3-8 to 1-7. 3 goals and 8 points to 1 goal and 7. So the ball falling around middle of the field. Portlaoise haven't got a score in the second half. This might be the first chance for Portlaoise to get an opening score. The man, Tony Berrigan for Portlaoise, getting foul going in. A hard pull there on the Portlaoise man, but he seems to be okay. Has he got a knock on the face? The referee will be calling the Ballypickas player aside. It looks like John Miller being spoken to by the referee. A hard pull across the face of the Portlaoise man there. He's gone down injured. Well, we had 1 injury already, but it was accidental. Martin Murphy being injured there, that was accidental. So the Portlaoise player, well, he seems to be okay now. The mentors are in looking at him there. So the Portlaoise player that was tackled going in, this will be a free. This surely will be the opening score of the second half for the Portlaoise men. He's up and he's okay. He's putting on his helmet again. So it'll be a free now when the referee, the referee telling John Rogers the free will be a little to the left. Can this be the opening score of the second half? The opening score of the second half for Portlaoise. Can this be the opening score? He sends it in low. A chance of a point, but the Ballypickas men come away with it. So the Ballypickas are let breathe once again. Can Ballypickas make the last 7 or 8 minutes of this game a comeback and come right into it? Well, Portlaoise haven't scored in the second half. Portlaoise playing really well, playing great defensive work. Eamon Fennelly. Eamon trying to get this one. Eamon not getting a score in the second half, playing well in the first half. And Fennelly trying to mooch it out towards Christy. Christy Wallace comes in for Ballypickas, playing his heart out. Christy Wallace, one of the long-serving Ballypickas players, really a great wholehearted player. But Martin Cuddy, and Martin has opened the score for the Portlaoise men. Martin Cuddy, Christy Wallace losing that one. Martin Cuddy getting the ball, putting it over to make it 3 goals and 9 to 1 goal and 6. 3-9 to 1-6. It's 3-9 now to 1-7. So Joe Paisley, Joe for Portlaoise, sending it in towards the goal mouth. Ballypickas are trying to get it out along the ground. Towards Paddy McWee. Paddy looking towards Christy Wallace, towards this side of the field. That's a bad poke from Paddy, going very, very near the line. Kept in play. Murty McWee. Murty will try and get it for but Martin Cashin. Martin the full forward, back helping his defence. And that ball falling towards the far side of the field. And Portlaoise now, Ballypickas trying desperately to come to terms with Portlaoise, but not playing as well as I said they did in the previous games. And Ballypickas are trying, their centre forward trying to get that one in, and that will be John O'Dea. John, but Martin Cashin, really the man of the match in my view, Martin Cashin. Martin back helping his defence, getting that one. Paddy McWee trying to pick it up. A chance here for the midfielder. He drops it right in. Is Pat O'Neill anywhere around? He's not. Sean Berrigan. Sean really playing a different ball game today on Pat O'Neill than he did the last game. Pat scored 2-2 in the drawn game. He hasn't rose a flag today. That'll just tell you the difference of the marking in the backs with Portlaoise and Ballypickas. So the ball will fall down. towards Pat O'Neill. Shot half. This is a chance for Ballypickas. It's in the net. A chance for Ballypickas. It looks like Paddy McWee from here that got his hurley to that one. That's a goal for Ballypickas, and that will really bring life back into the game. 3 goals and 9 to 1 goal to 2 goals and 7. 3-9 to 2-7. So Ballypickas are really ramping now. If another score, a great shot. It's a great block down. That's a great save by James Brown. A tremendous save. A goal look written all over, but Martin Cashin is back helping his defence again. Martin trying to get it out. Portlaoise trying to get it out, but Ballypickas inspired by the centre forward O'D. O'D is sending it in. Half blocked down by Ollie Bartley. A great clearance from Ollie towards Christy Wallace. Can Christy get it? Christy will pick it up for Ballypickas. This is a great comeback from Ballypickas. Christy Wallace driving it in deep into the full forward line. Half blocked down, stalemate in around the goals. It's going to be half cleared out, and Martin Cashin is there to clear it yet again for Ballypickas. D is in for Portlaoise, or Ballypickas, the centre forward, half blocked down. James Brown will watch it, but it'll be Dermot Bohan that'll put it out over to the far side of the field, and Martin Cashin, the full forward. Martin, a great clearance from the full forward, playing back, helping his defence towards Martin Cuddy. Can Martin pick it up for Portlaoise? A great finish to this junior final yet again. Ballypickas seem to be dead and buried there for a while, but that goal has really brought life back into the game. Portlaoise have only scored 1 point in the second half. So 5 points between the sides. What a goal to do for this game at the moment. What a goal to do for the Ballypickas men at this stage. A goal for Ballypickas would only leave 2 single points between them. Jim, the free will be taken by Christy Wallace. So Christy Wallace, will Christy put it over? Will he engineer it in around the goals, hoping that the goal might come? They need 2 to win this one. There's 5 points between the sides. Not a lot of time left in the junior final. About 4 minutes left to go here at Colt in the junior final, and that's a mighty, mighty puck dropping down, but it's well cleared out by Dermot Bohan. Dermot clearing it out towards this side of the field. 5 points between the sides. Ballypickas half blocked down. 2 Ballypickas players. The man picking it up is Paul Brennan. That's a great puck from Paul Brennan towards Pat O'Neill. Pat won't get that one. Pat's over for it again. Half blocked down. Going in towards a free. Is there a free for Ballypickas? It'll be a free. Christy Wallace. Will Christy put it over or engineered for a goal? Not very much time left, but there was stoppage time. A few minutes, maybe stoppage time will be added on here in this junior final. Christy Wallace, 5 points between the sides. 20 metres out, Christy putting it over. There's only 4 between them. 4 points between them. Christy Wallace putting it over, so 4 between them. Three goals and 9 points for Portlaoise. 2 goals and 8. 3-9 to 2-8. A remarkable recovery by Ballypickas. Remember the last 2 games. Splendid comeback by both sides when they were trailing. Ballypickas, Pat O'Neill. Can Pat get in? He's not. The ball's well cleared out. Back to Ollie Bartley, and a great clearance from Ollie, the number 5, setting it up towards Martin Cashin. Martin, the star of the evening here at Colt. So Ballypickas desperately need 2 scores. They need a goal and a point to draw them level. Portlaoise will be wondering if they lose this one. They led by so much at one time. They led by 3 goals and 8 points to 1 goal and 4 at half time. So it'll be a line ball on the far side of the field. The line ball on the far side of the field for Portlaoise. Dermot Bohan, or is it a free? The referee decides there was a foul. It'll be a free for Dermot Bohan for Portlaoise, and Dermot will... The referee telling Dermot to hurry it up a bit. So So Dermot dropping it down. That's a great free from Dermot Bohan. Half cleared out, got up very, very near the sideline, gone out over the line. It'll be a line ball for the Portlaoise men and Martin Cash. And Martin's everywhere today for Portlaoise. Martin will take this one on the far side of the field. He'll cut this one in towards the goals, hoping that Martin Cuddy might be round. Martin shot well blocked down. Christy Wallace has no room to get it in with a stick. He gets the boot to it. He gets it over towards this side of the field. And Paul Brennan. Paul trying his heart out to Pat O'Neill. Pat hasn't rose a flag for the Ballypickas men today. What a goal would do for Pat and Ballypickas. But Sean Berrigan says there'll be no goals coming in here. Sean having a great game for Portlaoise. To Pat O'Neill. Pat engineering it, dropping it in around the goal mouth, but no one there but the Portlaoise man. But here's a chance of a score. McWee, it's in the net. A splendid goal. A great goal for Ballypickas. There's only a point between them. A point between them. That was Paddy McWee. From here it looked like Paddy McWee, but it was Pat O'Neill that set it up. Is there extra time in Colt again? Paddy McWee putting it into the back of the net. One single score between them. What a pity if Ballypickas even would lose this one at this late stage, because they really made a great fight back, especially after losing cornerback Martin Murphy. Joe Paisley. Joe to come in just before half time, sending it across the goal mouth. Here's a chance, Ballypickas. The ball half blocked down, stalemate. It's a free in, a free for Portlaoise. A free. One single score between them. 3 goals and 9 to 3 goals and 8 points. 2-9. 3-9 to 3-8 rather. It's 3-10 to 3-8. 3-10 to 3-8. John Rogers pointing it for the Portlaoise men. And we're in time added on here in Colt. How much time will be added on? Well, will be interesting to see. Nothing will do Ballypickas but a goal. Portlaoise, that led by so much for so long, find ourselves in the most dangerous position of the evening. 2 single points, 3 goals and 10 to 3 goals and 8. Christy Wallace, the most dependable shot Christy will take, and that's a splendid shot from Christy Wallace. Half blocked down, a chance here. Is it McWee that's in again? Ballypickas, a splendid. Come back, the referee blowing. It's a free out. A free out. A free out for Portlaoise. A swing by one of the Ballypickas players. A free out. A free out, and Sean Berrigan will be relieved with that free. The free to be taken by Sean Berrigan. Or not, he's leaving to Dermot Bohan. 2 single scores between them. 2 single scores between them and Dermot Bohan. Is it the last puck of the evening? Martin Lawler's not blowing the whistle yet. There was a lot of stoppage time. Well, Ballypickas looked to be dead and buried for long periods of the game, but they made a great comeback with that splendid goal that only left 1 single point between them. But Portlaoise came back with that great John Rogers point and insurance point. Martin Cashin and Rogers again between the two of them. Will the engineer a score? Sent right across in the far towards Joe Paisley. A chance for Joe. That was a great chance for Joe. That was a great chance for Joe. It'll be a free in. Martin Lawler blowing, so this will put probably 3 between them. How much time is left on our watch? We're going over the time. How much added on time? A Portlaoise player is injured on the far side of the field. A Portlaoise player is injured on the far side of the field. It was... We were up with play and a Portlaoise player, and off the ball incidents. Whatever happened over there, Martin Lawler, the referee, has gone in. Some of the mentors from... So Portlaoise are calling for a sub, but on my watch they're well into added on time here in Colt. 2 points between them, 3 goals and 10 to 3 goals and 8. And this looks like probably will be the final score for the Portlaoise men. John Rogers will be happy with the free and with the point. It'll be their 3rd point of the second half. Remember, they led by 3 goals and 8 points at half time. They're 1 goal and 6. Martin Cashin. It's Joe Paisley that's down injured. Joe has got a few great chances in knocking over scores, but Joe is okay, and it looks like, is Joe going to be replaced? It looks like a sub going on to the Portlaoise team. It's Ger Kerry that's going on to the Portlaoise team. Ger Kerry going on to the Portlaoise team. He's replacing Joe Paisley. Joe that got a knock here. Joe that has seemingly a cut just on, and Rogers putting it over, so there's 3 between them. Ballypickas need a goal. Ballypickas need a goal here, but how much more time will Martin Lawler play? We're well into added on time. 3 goals and 11 points to 3 goals and 10. One solitary score between them. Can Ballypickas engineer a final? Martin Lawler's looking at his watch. I doubt it if there'll be any time for Ballypickas. Martin Cashin having a storming game. Martin Cashin. Half block down Christy Wallace. Is there a score for Ballypickas in it? Is there a chance for Ballypickas? And a free in for nothing will do Ballypickas but a goal. And Christy Wallace dropping it right into the goal mouth. A chance on of a score. The referee says no, it's a free out. A free out. We're well into added on time here at Colt. And it's all over, the referee. Yes, it's all over. The final whistle has gone at Colt. 3 goals and 11 points to 3 goals and 8. So Ballypickas that made a great comeback here in the junior final. So, hello? Yeah? Good. Just finished. Okay. So the game has just ended here with Ballypickas losing by those 3 points. 3 goals and 11 for Portlaoise, 3 goals and 8, but a great comeback here by the Ballypickas men, and almost engineering that goal that would have brought them to extra time again. So that's it here from Colt. Portlaoise winning the Junior A title after a second replay, and the scoreline of 3-11 to 3-8.
British overall, Ninja Ballypickas agus Ninja Portlaoise to Russian here last 14 of the again on Carolina Shaw. Ladies and gentlemen, the marathon final has come to an end, and I would indeed like to take the opportunity on behalf of Laois County Board to sincerely congratulate both Ballypickas and Portlaoise for 3 fantastic sporting games that have served up here for the last 2 occasions. I also take the opportunity to compliment both the officers, their managers, trainers and selectors of both teams for 2 very, very well prepared and 2 very, very well disciplined teams. Let me also take the opportunity to compliment the referee, Mr. Martin Lawler, and his team of officials for a job well done over the past 3 occasions also. I would also like to sincere congratulations to the Hurling and to the Colt Junior Club here for a magnificent feat, and in particular to Mr. John Grace and Mr. Willie Stark for a job that have well done here for the last couple of occasions. And I could not let the occasion go without taking the opportunity to thank sincerely on behalf of the Laois County Board Mr. Pat Cairns, who is the representative of O'Brien's Fashions Limited Portlaoise, for sponsoring the County Junior Hurling Championship of 1993, and I would ask you please to show your appreciation by giving them a sincere round of applause. I congratulate Portlaoise on winning the Junior Championship final of 1993, so congratulations to film Portlaoise. Well done. And I take the opportunity to wish them the very best of luck in the Intermediate Championship of 1994. My commiserations to Ballypickas. They've trained hard, they have prepared hard. They're a small locality. Great credit is due to them for keeping hurling alive in such a small area. And I know they are a bit despondent here this evening, but I've no doubt they will come back again as they always have done over the past. I congratulate you, Ballypickas, on giving Portlaoise not alone this evening but over the last 2 games, and hopefully we'll be back here again contesting county finals in the very, very near future. Thank you very, very much. Agus initial generation so I'm all saying on how or full on show of the captain from Portlaoise doing it over behind so I won't speak in Irish now because I find it a bit hard talking English. So, but first of all, I want to thank my own players here. We have a panel of 28 and they're the best futsal lads I've ever played with anyway. We've great team spirit. We're in the field every night since February. We fought for one another every match and everything, and I think that was one thing about us. We weren't just teammates, but we were the best of friends. We were going to die for one another. And I think we proved it out there in the field tonight. So please, I'd like to say as captain, it's an honour to accept the cup on behalf of you. Thanks. Saying that, there was a couple of men who were the Laois uniform, and I think we all know them here. Jim West, Paddy Harden, Andy Larkin, PJ O'Brien, and John O'Reilly. No, yeah, I'll come to him in a minute. But no, the boys were always for the last 2 or 3 years as well, and every year we knew they were good enough to win the junior, and I'm just delighted that we won it this year for them. Boys, thanks very much. Yeah, it's a good man. Yes, I've got a lot of fun for you. Give me a chance. But another man I'd like to thank for putting a terrible lot of work with us, and that's Kieran Brennan. Kieran's every night in the field with us. He talks out the whole property, the whole lot. Kieran, we know you a lot. Thanks very much. Two other men I'd like to thank is Ned Murphy and Peter Ryan. They were with us all the time as well, and they made sure his lot was here. So, boys, thanks very much. We'd also like to thank Dennis Coughlin after having the tea and sandwiches every night for us in the centre. Thanks. I'd also like to thank Alice Leland and family for sponsoring the Socks and Togs. It was much appreciated. Who else is there? Yeah. Another group of people I'd like to thank is the Portlaoise team of rollers. As you know, we trained all year with them and we got a lot of help and support from them, and they're a lot every match with us, and guys, we just like to thank you. We know we'll be back next year. Come to Ballypickas. I don't know what to say, like the last 3 games were after proving it out there. They're a great team, terribly hard to beat, and guys, we just wish you the best of luck. We look forward to meeting you in intermediate next year or the following year or whenever. Guys, 2 cheers for Ballypickas. After the minor final, the miners dedicated their win to Bill Phelan. Well, on behalf of the juniors here in the club, we'd like to do this. All of us here, from under 12 up, we go up under Bill, and everywhere we brought us, so he always looked after us, and we know that if he was here today, we would have been out in the field there, cheering us on, and he would have been in match tonight, drinking out of this with us. So Bill, this one's for you. Thanks a lot.
Let Billy hold on to it, yeah, put it into the cup there, that's it. Okay, lads, here we go. Lads, put them in or out, lads, they're in or out. Put them in the other side. Hold on, lads, okay. Again. Don't go, mate. Go on, Ralph, Ronnie Barkerson. Okay, lads, hang on.